Welcome back to the Wellness Cues. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that hits home for many: the difference between being raised in survival mode and being raised in love. Often, our upbringing shapes how we view ourselves, relationships, and the world around us. When we're raised in survival mode, it leaves lasting effects that can impact every part of our lives, from our self-worth to our ability to feel safe and loved. In today's video, I'll go through 18 signs that indicate you may have been raised in survival mode, not love. This topic is sensitive but so important. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward healing and building a foundation of self-love and trust. Let's get started. Number 1. If you're always on high alert, scanning for potential dangers or conflicts, you might have been raised in survival mode. Hypervigilance is common in people who grew up in unstable or unpredictable environments. This constant alertness can make it hard to relax, even when you're in safe surroundings. Instead of feeling at ease, you're always bracing for something to go wrong, which can lead to exhaustion and anxiety over time. Number 2. People raised in survival mode often feel they have to manage everything alone. This belief stems from early experiences where they couldn't rely on others to meet their needs. Asking for help feels foreign and may even trigger feelings of vulnerability or shame. Instead of seeing support as healthy and normal, they view it as a weakness or risk. Number 3. When love wasn't unconditional, you may have learned that affection or approval was earned rather than freely given. This can lead to a deep-seated fear of rejection. Even small signs of disapproval can feel overwhelming, and you may go to great lengths to avoid being rejected, even if it means ignoring your own needs and desires. Number 4. Trust can feel impossible if you were raised in a survival-oriented environment. Growing up, you may have been let down repeatedly or taught not to rely on anyone but yourself. This makes it hard to believe that others will follow through on their promises, leading to skepticism in relationships, even when people show you genuine care. Number 5. Survival mode often fosters a low sense of self-worth. If you felt you weren't enough to receive unconditional love as a child, you might carry that belief into adulthood. People raised in survival mode often feel they have to prove their value constantly, or believe that they're not deserving of love and kindness. Number 6. When love was conditional, you may have learned that pleasing others was the best way to earn their approval and stay safe. People raised in survival mode frequently struggle with people-pleasing, sacrificing their own needs to ensure they're accepted. While this may keep you safe temporarily, it often leads to burnout and resentment. Number 7. In survival mode, the focus is on getting through the day rather than truly living or enjoying life. This can manifest in adulthood as a constant drive to be productive, even in situations where it's okay to relax. You may feel guilty or anxious when you're not doing something because your nervous system is conditioned to always be in fight or flight mode. Number 8. One common response to growing up in a survival mode environment is emotional numbness. If expressing feelings wasn't encouraged or even safe, you might have learned to shut down your emotions as a protective mechanism. This can lead to feeling disconnected, unable to experience deep joy or sadness, and a general sense of numbness in everyday life. Number 9. People raised in survival mode may unconsciously push away healthy relationships. Because they're so used to unstable dynamics, they might sabotage relationships that feel too good to be true. This fear stems from not trusting that someone could genuinely care for them, leading them to end relationships or create conflicts to avoid potential hurt down the line. Number 10. Survival mode often pushes people into overworking as a way of feeling secure. Overworking can become a habit, as it creates a sense of control and distracts from emotional pain. Alongside this, those raised in survival mode frequently struggle with setting boundaries, fearing that saying no might lead to rejection or conflict. Number 11. When you're raised to expect the worst, kindness can feel suspicious or undeserved. You may find it hard to believe when others offer help or praise, feeling like there's a hidden motive. Accepting love, compliments, or support can be a challenge because it feels foreign or untrustworthy, even when it's sincere. Number 12. In survival mode, material security often feels like the only thing you can truly control. As a result, you might find yourself very focused on finances, possessions, or anything that offers a sense of stability. Money and belongings become symbols of safety, which can lead to over-focusing on financial success or material accumulation. Number 13. When you're raised in survival mode, mistakes might have led to harsh consequences, causing you to become overly self-critical. You may have developed a deep fear of failure, believing it reflects a flaw in your character. This can lead to perfectionism and extreme caution, even in situations where it's safe to take risks or learn from errors. Number 14. Growing up in a survival-focused environment often leads to a strong need for control. You may find yourself attempting to manage every aspect of your life, fearing that things will fall apart if you let go. This tendency can extend to relationships, daily routines, and even minor decisions, creating stress and tension. Number 15. Without a foundation of unconditional love, people raised in survival mode often struggle with chronic self-doubt. They may feel uncertain about their decisions, abilities, and worth. Even with successes, they might second-guess themselves, always feeling like they're not enough or waiting for someone to expose their perceived flaws. Number 16. Those raised in survival mode often have a hard time opening up emotionally. Vulnerability feels unsafe, as it exposes you to potential pain, criticism, or rejection. Rather than sharing feelings and connecting on a deep level, you may keep others at arm's length to avoid being hurt. Number 17. If you find yourself fiercely independent, even in situations where it's okay to lean on others, it could be a sign of survival mode. Growing up, you might have learned that you couldn't depend on anyone, so you became self-reliant to the extreme. While independence is a valuable trait, those raised in survival mode may struggle to allow others to support them, even when it's needed because it feels like vulnerability. Finally, number 18. When raised in survival mode, your primary focus is often on immediate needs and safety, rather than on exploring passions or long-term goals. This can lead to difficulty identifying your own dreams and desires in adulthood. You may find yourself unsure about what truly makes you happy, as much of your energy was directed toward coping rather than self-discovery. This can make it challenging to set goals or pursue fulfilling activities, as you're unsure of what brings you genuine joy. If you relate to any of these signs, remember that it's okay and completely normal to have these reactions based on your past experiences. Awareness is the first step toward healing, and by recognizing these patterns, you can begin to shift from survival mode to a place of self-love, trust, and compassion. Healing takes time, but each step you take will bring you closer to living a life of love, not fear. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Wellness Cues for more insights into emotional wellness, mental health, and self-care. Remember, you're not alone in this journey.